Welcome, welcome everyone to the 105th episode of the Home Theater Hub. As you can see, we have one of our normal hosts, and I had to call in Philip Rivers, man. I had to call Philip Rivers in because Ike is out sick today.
Oh,
so,
man.
so we brought the retired podcast host, Youth Man.
What's going on, man?
What's going on, Michael? How are you,
I
sir?
am good, man.
Thanks for joining us this evening. We have YouTube royalty here, everyone. So
Yeah, I got like a 30-minute notice on this one too. So
yeah, it was not planned at all. So I really appreciate
you're dedicated to it more than I am.
I literally came home from a Christmas party, and he's like, "Hey, I know it's short notice. Can you jump on a podcast?" I'm like, "I'll be home in like 10 minutes." I figured you're already on it or something. Nah, it doesn't start till 9:30. I'm like, who does a freaking podcast at 9:30?
9:30 every Thursday. It's only 8:30 at most people's times, and if you think about it, California, it's even earlier, right?
Yeah.
So it's later for the East Coast. We usually go to about midnight, but we're last show we cut it off a little early. We'll probably cut it off a little bit early this week. We are still looking for guests, by the way. I do have a guest lined up for next week. Crossing my fingers, everything goes well. Because usually when I mention it, something happens. But yeah, no. If you would like to be a guest on the show, please shoot us an email at hometheaterhublive@gmail.com. That way you could become a guest on the show just to talk about home theater. Talk about what you like, common like people talking about common things, right? So Paul, what's going on, man? How have you been?
Been good. I'm taking the next week plus off. I'm heading to California, Temecula, to do some wine tours. So that's why I'm cutting it off early. I'm going to get a couple hours of sleep before I have to get up and
when are you actually leaving?
Tomorrow at 5:30.
Ooh, yeah.
Early day.
Be there a couple hours early to get on the plane and all that stuff. So, and drive to the airport, obviously. So yeah, we got to get up pretty early.
Yeah, for sure. Do you have the itinerary ready already?
No.
Which ones you're going to visit?
I don't do itineraries unless it's something that's like a popular, well-known, like, I don't know what a specific thing. Like if you're going there to do something specific, obviously I would schedule that. But whenever I go vacation, normally I'm just like going there to live like a local and hopefully, talk to some people. As a matter of fact, Scott is gonna come down one of the days and stay in the same area and hang out. So that's what I'm all about. I'm not about, let's do this. I'm like, no, go there, talk to the locals, see what's cool to them, and we did the same thing whenever I went to Rhino District, and we found a couple places that were just completely off the beaten path, and one of them was an amazing little bar that overlooked the city, and it's not on any flyer anywhere. It's just, hey, this is where you go, and it was pretty cool. So
that's awesome. Yeah, no, I would love to do something like that. I'm not a huge wine person or anything like that, but I mean I would still love to go and see what it's like.
Yeah.
So old Scottio. Speaking of Scottio, let me see if I can change this. So Scottio made us this background the other day. We got off of the stream early, and Scott and Rich jumped on, and I was like, man, we need a cool Christmas background with some speakers or something like that. So he started digging in like in 10 minutes and populated this. So thanks to Scottio.
GPT is that hook me up, and it's
pretty much.
Yeah, so
that's awesome.
I got a rocket, right? One of our listeners, actually, Scottio was started off on the show doing like some news stuff, right? For us, and unfortunately his job took him away, but hopefully he'll be able to join us back soon. Now that he's got a new gig, I think so. We keep inviting him, but hopefully we'll get him back on. Those of you that don't know, Scotty-O, go back and check out the episode for Mr. Wiggles. Mr. Wiggles was on the show. So yeah, that was fun.
Yeah, it's awesome.
So
it's fun.
How about watching movies or anything, Paul? You get a chance to watch anything this week?
I watched somebody that's horrible recommendations, but I went ahead and watched A Monster Call.
Oh, you did watch it. Horrible recommendation, huh?
No, I watched it. It was a pretty good movie. Yeah,
I still haven't seen it yet, unfortunately.
It's definitely it's mixed hot, like a lot. Like my average is like -15 on my volumes, and it's all relative, right? But sometimes, like my Disney movies or whatever, I have to go up to -10. If I'm wanting to enjoy the bass, I can still hear it fine. But if I'm wanting to watch, get that good bombastic feeling, I got to go up to -10 on some movies. This one, I watched it -20.
Oh,
probably
wow.
could have gone down to 25, to be honest. Yeah,
that's how hot it was mixed, huh?
I was like, damn, that one's mixed pretty hot.
Yeah, I told you, like I was fixing the Lindorf because it went into a boot loop, and then I came back and I just like it. Okay, once I fixed it, I usually have it started at -55. That's the setting, but I had to go back in and reload all my settings, and I didn't realize that they're all saved on an SD card. I thought it would redo everything, and I popped that movie on at like 12 o'clock at night, and my wife thought the house was falling down, and she has never ever complained about me about me turning the theater up at night, because I got that place pretty soundproofed, and my mother-in-law came down the next morning. She's like, my bed was shaking. so like literally the first scene is like, major bass.
Yeah,
it's called a Monster Calls, right?
Yeah.
I don't know if you've checked that one out yet, Michael.
Mm-mm.
Yeah, it's pretty interesting. I think you would like it. It's I think when I first saw it, I can remember it because I thought it was like a horror movie, and I was like, I'm not watching it. It's not a horror movie. It's a little. I wouldn't say kids, definitely more scary, but it's a little darker. It's like dark, but it's like it's actually a really good movie. It has a good.
What they call that, thriller versus like horror?
Yeah, well, but it's I don't know. Is it? Yeah, it is called
psychological drama, adventure drama, family fantasy.
Yeah, but it's a pretty wild movie.
Nice.
It's got a good message, I guess, or it's interesting. It's dealing with, like, I don't know, along the lines of, it's not mental health, but it's like dealing with your own struggles, right? And being able to, because sometimes we have emotions, right? Or thoughts that we're just like, oh my God, it's just like, only this and that would, it's like, why, but in this movie kind of touches on that. So it's a pretty good movie. You have to watch the whole thing, because it's just like any other movie. It's like not until the last 5 minutes to even understand what it's probably 20 or whatever, 20 minutes of the whole movie to even understand what the point of all this, like, what is the point of all this stuff? And then you're like, oh,
wow, that's good.
So, and it's pretty sad.
I'll keep you interested till then.
I'm glad you enjoyed it, because that came from a Takeover Tuesday from DJs.
Yeah. Is it? Oh,
You know,
okay.
from
Yeah.
Brightside. So that one of the guys from there recommended. He had a list of movies that weren't like mainstream,
Yeah, it was pretty good. Yeah. I
And
mean,
just for home theater experience. He
I
had
have
a
a
list of 3D movies. So I recommend you
oh,
guys
is
go
it a
listen to
3D
that.
movie?
No, it's not 3D,
I was gonna
but
say,
he had a list of 3D movies that, you know, people don't know about, and he also had a list of 3D movie. Excuse me, regular movies just for the home theater experience. It was one. It was a couple Takeover Tuesdays ago.
it was on
So,
Kaleidoscape or something like that. Pretty cheap.
so yeah, so he recommended it, and I purchased it, even though it's only in HD on Kaleidoscape. But you know, it's still from what it's a 5.1 track too. So did you up mix it at all, or did you just play it the way that it is?
I'm not. I don't bother myself with that.
Okay, very
It's
good.
like, whatever.
Is what it is, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Director's intent.
Just more laziness is like, oh, I want to like, oh, did I forget to turn off the AI up mixer? Did I, it's just like, no, I don't want to deal with that. I want the easy button, man. I don't want to think about it,
Cool. Well, anything else? Were you able to take anything else in this week?
No, I really wasn't. I spent all the rest of my spare time setting up my new Vortex 3D printer for my little business.
Oh, it came in.
Yeah, and that thing is wow. Like
cool.
that is an engine. Like seeing it on the internet and seeing the videos of it is cool, but man, when you actually see it in person mechanically moving, you're just like, wow.
Is
like
it faster than your other one?
No, it's not faster. It is faster moving wise, but with all the extra, this is going down like nerd alley with 3D printers. Most 3D printers have a nozzle, and they made one with like 2 nozzles in one that like this one and this one.
Mhm.
This one has what they call a vortex, which there's 6 nozzles on the side. So it has a mechanism on the one side that it literally grabs it magnetically, and it all via near field technology, like communicates with it, heats it up, does all that stuff. But whenever it boots up, or not boots up, when it starts a print, it spends like several more minutes calibrating and realigning everything. So even though it may be faster in some aspects laying down the print, it has so many more other things to do and precision calibration to do that it kind of, it's the same. It kind of evens out. So,
Okay.
But
Okay.
now if it's like 80% faster if you're doing specific things, which is what you would buy it for in the first place, which is color, like making multicolored prints. That's where it's like 80% faster,
I see.
right? But if you're just doing one color, then yeah, it's actually a little slower, because it takes like another couple minutes to do all its fancy calibration. So, but once you start getting into the reason you would buy one of these, the multicolor, yeah, it's like 80% faster.
So how's the speaker build coming? Do you still?
I got my tools to, crimp all the thing, because I want to crimp them instead of doing a bunch of soldering stuff, since I 3D printed my circuit board.
Mhm.
I'm going to crimp everything and put it all together. I have that, but it's with the work and then with me leaving next week, I didn't have time to build it. I'm excited to build it. It's done. It's ready. And I also thought of something, how we were talking about how my first iteration, I actually
Show Michael this thing. Look, this guy is 3D printing speakers, man. It's crazy.
yeah. So yeah. Let me show you.
I'm like super impressed with this thing, man. I'm waiting for the first.
Oh, it's like a legit speaker. Check that out.
Yeah. No, I don't have these screwed in, so I'm not gonna twist it all the way up. But yeah, it's like side profile.
Mercy.
And then I've got a circuit board that I 3D printed and put all the components on.
Nice.
So now that I got the tools, I can connect everything how it needs to connect and stuff. And then connect it to the big fancy binding posts that I got.
There you go.
Then, yeah, so you know how I had that resonance. So is what I did. And this is a part of engineering, right? So I literally had to just print a bunch of stuff and label it to figure out, okay, which one of these is, you know, the most economically time-wise, not necessarily like money-wise, feasible to be able to produce a speaker, you know, because like you can hear the difference between some of these. It's just like, so I found that perfect balance.
Nice.
By doing it. But I have these, the bigger ones, and then I have a whole bunch of the same little squares that I started out with. But anyways, you know, that's what you got to do. You know, it's like no matter how much math you do, you still have to physically get
trial and error.
And then you're just like, all right, here we go.
Yeah, so it's pretty crazy how he put together this 3D printed that the whole speaker, and you can lay that on the side. It can be a center channel too, right?
Yeah. It's here's the, so you can lay it on its side. And,
that's cool, man.
You know, I got all this, you know, whatever. And so it's actually has, if you notice, it does have actual tilt to it. So, you know, it's got a kind of an angle in. And then, of course, obviously you can.
What did we say the name of these were going to be?
I haven't got a name yet.
We came up with a name on the after show. Michael's going to be selling them at a Obsessed Home Theater soon.
Yeah. I don't know that will happen.
No, I wish the best for you, man, for
That's
sure.
awesome. No, it's a fun deal, man.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, for sure.
Especially if you figure out something that you really enjoy and something that has a great
it's just fun.
signature.
And really, for me, it's about perfecting my CAD skills. You know, because that is there's more demand for, you know, CAD designers than there are home theater salesmen. As much as I love home theater, you know, and the group. So, and audio.
Hey, Derek, what's going on, man? How are you? Thanks for joining us.
Can't hear you.
You're on mute. You're on mute, Derek.
Let's have this moment of silence for Derek and his microphone.
That better?
Yeah,
that's better. There we go.
It picked up the wrong microphone. It was trying to do it off my MacBook, not my AirPod.
Yeah,
All
sure.
good. No problem.
Anyway.
No problem.
Sorry.
Man.
Hey, Michael, how are you?
I'm good, dude.
Good to see you finally again.
Yeah.
It's been a whole week and a half.
Oh, you guys got together, huh?
Yeah, we
No,
meet
just
a month on Patreon, on Zoom. So
Oh, okay.
we all connect.
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
share
you
updates.
always do it on Tuesday night, and I forget about it. And I'm like, then I check my email a little bit later, and I'm like, shit, I missed it.
I send it out like 2 days early.
I know you do.
Then I send a reminder usually 15 minutes before it starts. So yeah, don't give me that crap.
No, it's just, I don't look at my. I hate. Look, I even tell Ike this because he sends me emails and stuff, and I'm like, dude, I get
unplugged?
500 emails a day
Yeah.
from work. I don't want to see another email after I get home. You know,
I don't even mind the emails per se, but I was out for 2 days and I checked my inbox. I had 1,500 emails.
Yeah, that's wild.
8 of those
Were for you.
were related to me. And out of those 8, only 2 of them were actually, hey, this is something you need to action on.
Right. Yeah.
So what percentage, you know what I mean? Like that's a pretty low percentage.
Yeah, but you still got to take the time to go through them and read them and know what's going on. Yeah. Yes, I have got, you know, 3 managers that work for me, and but they want to copy me on it to let me know what's going on and this and that. And I got to know because You know, when
Yeah.
well, we had to reduce this, we had to do this, we had to do that, and because you still got to skim through them. But a lot of times, if I see like it says "got it," I'm like delete, delete. Some of them I don't even open, but it's just like, man, I just don't want to see an email. After I'm done, after I unwind for work. So it's just like.
I understand that. Yeah.
I used to
get
take
it.
80 to 120 calls a day at a call center. I worked for
Wow.
Progressive Insurance as a
There you go.
call
Yeah.
center rep. So when I got home, guess what? The last thing I wanted to do was answer
Yeah,
a phone.
exactly.
Back when the
Oh,
phones
wow.
used to
Yeah.
actually ring
Mhm.
before we had
Yeah.
texting.
Yep. Yep.
Phone phone ring. I'm like, Jessica, that's yours. I don't even care who it is. You talk to him for me. If you need to know something, ask me. But I'm
Sorry,
done.
Mom. It's not your time.
That's right. I am
You gotta call me first
dogged
thing in the
out.
morning.
A lot of words.
Yeah.
No, definitely understand that. You
Yeah.
got to unplug for sure,
Mhm.
and just
Yeah.
and that's why I do this show. I know I talk about work on here, but I try not to.
Mhm.
But just unplug and get work off the brain and everything else like that. So it's a release for myself. And look, I appreciate all of you listening to my boring ass. So, but so how about you, Mike? Were you able to partake into anything in the theater, or what you working on in the theater?
So the biggest thing I started watching. So one thing that's really nice, Jessica didn't ever use the theater room, and now she uses it 2 times a week.
That's awesome.
She loves watching Survivor with me. Her and the girls, and I would pop in every once in a while. They were watching Dancing with the Stars. So of course, I'm cranking up the music for them. They're jamming in there. And then she likes watching Amazing Race. And then I got into watching the new Stranger Things.
Ah,
That sounds stinking phenomenal, especially for streaming. Like truly, truly phenomenal mix.
so you've watched all the previous Stranger
Nope.
Things? No,
No,
so
I went straight to 5.
jump right into season 5.
Yeah, I watched a little bit of season 1, and I didn't really get into it. And then season 5 came around. I'm like, I'll pop it in. And I was like, dude. And I'm just fascinated with the sound. But then that drew me into the story. And I'm like, oh, this is actually pretty cool. It's interesting.
You are a madman. How can you possibly jump from 1 to 5?
Yeah.
Oh, my brain would hurt. No,
But I'm also the
I
same guy.
have to go on the way.
Start reading a book and get to like the climax and put the book down and never read it again. So it's just the way my brain's wired. It's a bit different.
Yeah. Yeah, no,
I know it's not normal, but yeah.
I watched the first season,
Mhm.
and then it came back on, and I never watched it. I've paid for Netflix for multiple years now, and
Mhm.
look, I'm telling you what, their streaming is definitely getting better. Derek, what's going on with your
I'm
Zoom?
like,
Man?
look at his nose. What's up?
You're on mute again.
I
Yeah,
think
we
it's
can't hear you.
his antlers must look like shoulders or
I don't
something.
know. We see your
It's probably best you couldn't hear me because of the rant thing that was going on.
Yeah.
You're all good, man. Don't worry about it. We're
Let me
not
just, how's this? Is this better? No,
we're
No,
not
it's not.
professional at all
is it
here.
automatically like following
Yeah.
you? Or?
It is, and
like-
but it's not supposed to be on. So that's
Oh.
the part that's like,
That's funny.
Oh.
Nah.
Do you have a
Where-
Mac? Or
yeah, it is, but it's the OBSBot meet,
okay.
but anyway. Ignore me.
It's all good.
Try to
man.
ignore me while you continue talk amongst yourselves.
You're all good, man. You're
Hey,
all-
at least Don's not the only one that has
Yeah.
technical difficulty.
Look,
We all
you guys rubbed off on me. Every week you were having technical difficulties and that.
Oh, it's more like the other way around, man. I was like, what the heck? Yeah, every time that I've been late, it's been because I'm like, okay, I'll connect in some new thing. I'm like, what? Like, oh my gosh, really? It's like, and I'm not hey, let's sit here for 30 minutes,
Okay.
and stare at each other before the show,
What's going on? What's going on, Scott? Thanks for joining, or Kat. I'm not sure, but thanks for joining us here. Been watching your progress.
He's
Watch
going nuts.
what, man. I'm telling you what, this guy. I saw Gene. I saw some videos with Gene there and stuff like that. Man, I'm telling you, I'm honored that I got to do a private tour at Scott's house. It was unbelievable. I mean, just fantastic what he had set up. I can't imagine what he's getting set up.
I know. With the new setup, Mr. Fistifer will return.
24. Oof.
That's a lot.
Yeah.
The doors are going to blow off of that place, man. I mean, it's just going to be insane for sure. I'm going to have to make it to the next get together for sure. Once,
Yeah.
Yeah,
We'll have
It's
to.
already booked. You missed out.
Yeah,
I'm pressed, man. I'm pressed now. Just messing around.
Yeah, he literally he posted, I think, say day one, and by day two it was done.
Yeah.
Yep.
No, that's fantastic. Scott, you and I know you influenced Scott to start his YouTube channel and everything else, and he's blown up since then. But
He's doing
Michael, he's doing a fantastic job there. I just can't press the freaking record button for me. So to even start doing it, but congrats to him and Kat.
Well, he's put in the work. When I was getting ready to leave, I don't know, I guess it was 2 trips ago maybe, and he just out of casual, he said that him and Kat were thinking about doing a podcast. I'm like, well, why don't you? He's like, well, I don't really know what to do. Like, I don't know what equipment I need. I said, hang on a second. So I went and grabbed my laptop, pulled up some software, told him, here's roughly what you'd need. I said, go for it. What do you got to lose? And like you said, just hit record, share your love, share your passion, share your story.
Mm-hmm.
And man, he just went gung ho, started posting and just going nuts and having a blast. And that's really what it's all about. And just finding people that connect with you as a person and connect with your story and connect with your insanity. He's just on a whole nother level, man.
He's been big in the community too, like Facebook, way before way before that, and way before
he's
you.
been growing his channel. Yeah, and he had been inviting people over to his house for probably 3 or 4 years, Scott, I think, before he even made like an online presence as far as like on YouTube. But he'd been growing his Facebook following for a while. So, but no, he's doing great, man. Appreciate his friendship.
Yeah, no, for sure. Thanks for tuning in, Scott. Appreciate you, man.
Sorry about that.
That's bedtime.
No, I set an alarm at 10 p.m. every night to check my calendar. And the reason is because there have been times I've missed meetings at like 9 a.m. or 8:30 a.m. Like I normally don't schedule meetings at 8 a.m. or 9 a.m.
Right.
But every once in a while it catches me off guard. So I'm like, all right, if I set an alarm, then, I'll look at it and go, oh, okay, I need to make sure I do this tomorrow, or this is going on. So just to make sure.
Well, one thing that, and I didn't talk about my experience, we'll get to it, but since Scott brings up community, I think it's a good segue to talk about what you have going on, Michael.
Mm-hmm.
So we'll just kind of skip out of order here from what we normally do. We normally go around and talk about all of our experiences, but I mean, I think this is just as important here, right? So, Michael, you've actually dove in, and you've talked to me about this. I know you were talking to Casey about this several years ago, and just trying to find a way to get everyone together, to get there, to let people know, hey, there are other people in your area, that you can experience and talk about home theater to. So talk about a little bit about what you're putting together here.
So the heartbeat behind this is one of the comments that I continually get on my channel is, Michael, I don't know anybody in home theater, like nobody locally. Yeah, I know some guys online, that I've met, but they're a screen name. They're just a username. They're a first and a last name, but they have no idea who these people are. They don't know their families. They don't know their story. They know what gear they have. That's it. And so there's really no deep connection on a lot of these folks. But they don't have anybody they can physically go over to their house to check out their setup, to call them on the phone and say, hey, I've got some new subwoofers coming in. Would you mind coming over and help me bring them into the house? They don't have that genuine friendship, that local connection. And so it's been on my heart for a long time. Well over a year, maybe even multiple years. But I always made the excuse, I just don't have the time. I'm so involved with, of course, making content on my channel. So a lot of it's traveling to different events and things. And then on top of that, we've got Obsessed Home Theater, and we're building that out. And so I just always made an excuse. And it was interesting. We were over at Benny. He's one of my videographers for some of the events that I do and sponsored videos that I do, home theater tours. And we're at Benny's house, and we're sitting down. And in that video, I just shared, I'm like, man, I would love for one of you guys to start a group. And I just really was focusing that video on the community aspect of it. And probably within like 2 days, I got a message on Facebook, and a guy said, Michael, I watched your video. I don't know anybody in my area, but I did what you said. I started a Facebook group. And I was like, holy crap, man. I was so pumped. It got me so excited. I'm like, well, if he can make time for it, dadgummit, it's time. I need to stop making excuses. Let's do this. So I created the Obsessed Home Theater Central Florida group for our area, because that's where I'm at. And I figured that makes sense. There's about a 4-hour drive from East Coast to West Coast, but like I'm kind of in the middle. I'd be willing to drive 2 hours to go hang out at somebody's house that has a really cool home theater on the East Coast. I do the same thing on the West Coast. And so I started that. And then I think I shared that either on Patreon, or I shared it maybe just as a community post and said, hey, is there anybody in North Florida, South Florida? And I had 2 people volunteer to create a group. And I'm like, well, if we're going to really expand this across the US, that's really the desire right now, to have multiple Facebook groups in all states. Depending on what, how big your state is may depend on how many groups are going to be in that state. And so I thought for us, we'll at least have North, Central, and South Florida. We might do a Northwest and a Northeast. We might end up doing a West Central, a Central, and an East Central. But I figured this is at least a start. Let's start there, see, what we have. And, I reached out to our guy that builds our website, Manny. And I said, Manny, here's my vision. Here's my heartbeat. I talked to Rusty about it, and they loved the idea. And I said, can we build a page on the Obsessed Home Theater website? Because my thought is, just because somebody creates a group, most of the time people can't even find it. So I'm like, what if we created a directory so that everybody could just go to obsessedhometheater.com, click on community tab, and then on that page, I don't know if you can pull it up, but on that page, there is a drop down that says, click your state. And you click on Florida, and it pops up all 3 groups that are in Florida.
So I wasn't aware of that, but I did just go to Facebook here.
Yeah.
And I just typed in home theater community, right? Yep. And you can see that there's, multiple listings here of,
correct,
different Facebook groups, but we'll definitely go to the Obsessed Home Theater page to check that out too. But
that's the easiest way. I mean, you could search for it on Facebook, but if you're just wanting to see, all right, where are these groups in my state? And here's one thing I'm thinking of too, is that let's say you're in the very North Florida. You might want to connect with the folks that are in South Georgia, because it's right next to you. You might be a 10-minute drive for you to cross the border. There are other states that do that too. They're bordering other areas. I don't care what, what group you're involved in. The purpose of this is, can I, as a consumer, find out who's in my area? And what's been really cool, and even like revealing to me, I didn't realize how many people were in Central Florida.
Yeah, you guys got like 60 some people in the group already for Central Florida.
Like,
I was looking at that.
Now, I do have a little help because I got my channel. I can at least say, hey, if you're in Florida,
Right.
Central Florida, so that helps. But my thought is, hey, let's build the network. I'll build the infrastructure. I'll be pushing the, people to go utilize this tool. And so if you click on, the drop down menu, you'll see all the states. I don't know if we can see it on the, yeah, you're not going to be able to see it on here because of the screen capture. Because you clicked on it, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So we're not going to be able to see it. But anyway, there's a drop down menu there and it'll say every state. So when you click on that state, go ahead and click on Florida. They should be able to see it once you click on it. Yeah. So see, now we can see down there at the bottom. When I did the screen recording of this, mine did the same thing. I was like, dadgummit, because I didn't capture the whole window. I just captured the tab.
Right. Yeah. I'm only on the tab. Yeah.
Yeah. No, you're fine. So in this case, you would just look and see, is there a group there? And if there is, click that. It takes you to that Facebook page. You can request to join. And so, it's a private Facebook group. And the biggest question is, do you live in that area? We don't want Derek. I mean, I love Derek. Derek's a great friend, but I really don't want him in my Central Florida group. It doesn't serve any purpose. There are plenty of other groups that are out there that's just big. I know he's weeping. We're going to get a community in your area though, bro. I promise.
It's fine. I'm good.
We may already
Derek's
have
like, I'm a $100 Southwest flight away.
but,
I mean, hell, I drive 4 hours to go to stuff in North Texas. It's only 10 more hours to get to you.
Yeah, exactly. But the thing is, the whole point is like, man, let's help people find really like these close people that are within 30 minutes, an hour. Because where I can see this and the vision behind this is, let's say all four of us are in Central Florida and I've never met you, but I met you through the Facebook group and, I host a get together. And so you three guys come over and some other guys and we have some snacks and we hang out, we do some demos in my theater room. And at the end of it, we're like, man, this was fun. We had a great time. Who wants to do next month? And Paul says, well, dude, I'd love to have you guys over at my house.
Paul
Let's
needs
do it.
Paul needs to be the moderator of Kansas
Yeah.
City. You don't have
Yeah.
anybody yet.
Yeah. So the way it is it's like, that's the purpose of this. And where I can really see the value is imagine when, let's just say Derek says, man, I've been hearing so much about this mini DSP thing. I've got 4 subwoofers and I know I'm not really getting the most out of them, but I don't know squat about mini DSP. And, and Don says, man, I'm all about it. Do you know how to do that? I'd be happy to come over to your house on a Saturday and let's dial this thing in. Imagine that. Like that is a crazy resource that we just don't have.
For sure.
So that's the heartbeat behind this. That's the vision behind this. I think the community is going to grow because now people feel like they belong to something. We all want to belong to something. And so that sense of belonging, that sense of community, now you're building genuine friendships within people. I had a guy just recently, he connected with somebody locally and he said, man, I've been texting them, we've been hanging out. I've been to their house. They've been to my house. And we even went out and had a drink, the other night. I was like, dude, that's what this is all about. That's the whole purpose of this. And then I think even the brands, think about all these brands are going to benefit because you're going to go to Paul's house and he's got X brand of speakers. And you may be like, man, I need that in my life. Or you go to Derek's house and he's got a projection image and you're rocking a TV and you're like, now I see what these guys are talking about in projection. Like I didn't realize you could get that great of an image and man, I'm missing out on that big immersive. So I think the brands are going to, there's just so much value I think that we're going to get out of this. And so we've started off in Florida with Central Florida. We expanded to North and South. And then from there, I just said, hey, if there isn't a group in your area, reach out to me. There's a link at the bottom of that page. It sends me a direct email and it says, hey, Michael, I'm interested. And so shoot me an email. If your area isn't there, I just have a conversation with you. I created a document, a step-by-step. Here's how you create a Facebook group. Here's the questions that you need to ask. And, just so that you're kind of what do you call it? Not weeding out, but you're, what's the word I'm looking for?
Just focusing the
Yeah, keeping it
Yeah.
targeted.
Yeah, targeting. Yeah, I mean, you're basically just, oh man, I can't think of what I'm filtering out. People that don't belong.
yeah.
Right.
I don't know what I did. I created my first group, and what I'm telling everybody, when you create the group, do not click the Facebook. Basically says, hey, do you want to invite some people to your group? I'll help you.
All your friends
No.
and family.
No, you don't. Because
Yeah.
number one, all your friends and family, they don't give a rip about home theater. But what it did is I have 7,000 followers on Facebook. It sent invitations to all 7,000 of them. Like every few hours, it would say 300 invites were sent. And so me and my moderators are deleting and deleting and deleting. But what was crazy, even though I had these 3 questions, like, do you live in Central Florida? Do you love home theater? And it was, I mean, there were people in like Pakistan joining. There are people in the UK and Canada, and just automatically it was bypassing the system. So I'm telling people, look, just manually invite them. I'll help you promote it. I'll get some traffic to you. Copy the link, send it in a text or something, but don't hit that join button or it,
Yeah.
or invite, but not join. But
Yeah,
it
for
was-
sure.
Oh, it was a pain. in the
So-
butt.
Invite all.
So what would you
That's
say?
right.
What would you say because like for me, right?
Yeah,
I'm 3 hours away from you guys. I can
correct.
be there. In
Yeah,
three
that's.
and
I mean,
half
it's a
hours.
big drive for you. So it depends on.
Right.
on
So what
if
would you
you're
say?
really-
What would you say the parameters would be? Because I struggle with it. I'm like, should I join the center the central group also? Because
Yeah.
I'm
100%.
some people may say, yeah, I'm not going to make that drive. Some people may say, 3 hours is nothing.
Right.
Like Derek said, I drive 4
Yeah,
hours to go to
100%.
Texas.
And I think that's
I
totally
drive
fine.
to Scott's. I mean,
Yeah.
just because, I mean, it's like, what am I going to spend?
Yeah.
A
Like I said,
minimum of
there's no
2.5 hours
restriction.
in the airport. I mean,
Yeah.
it's like, okay, now I'm down to like, 3.5 hours, I'm saving, but I have no, leeway to do anything or no freedom to do anything else except hop on the plane, hop off the plane.
Right.
And also, I got to get a rental car whenever I get there anyway. So, there's a large break point for me. Now, would I do it weekly? Yeah, I'm not like home theater meeting up.
Yeah.
5 drive every weekend. But
Well, most of the, like my vision, I would love for these communities to begin eventually. It may take some time, but eventually, as they get to know each other, because at first nobody's going to open up their home. They're just getting to know each other. These are random strangers on the internet,
Yeah, for sure.
but they're sharing their, here's my photos, and man, I just got this new subwoofer. Man, I just installed this projector, or man, I don't know how to do this. Can you guys, and then you're helping each other out verbally, and then you're building friendships, online friendships. I've already seen guys in my group. They're like, he's like, man, you're like right next to me, like you're in my neighborhood kind of thing. And
Oh wow.
like, what I'm saying, like not neighborhood, but in my vicinity, you're in the same city. He's like,
Yeah.
we need to connect. He's like, absolutely. They're already making those connections and building those friendships. And they're, man, dude, I'd love to come see yours. And absolutely, I'd love to have you over mine. So even though it's not, a big event yet,
Oh, don't smile too hard.
it's going to
just
become-
the way he worded it, man. You show me yours, I'll show you mine.
It was in my brain, but I didn't
my
say
God.
I
it.
was trying to stay away from it, guys.
yeah. See, I didn't go there. So I'm here.
Oh, I tried to not. but
Paul was
Don had to
smirking. Paul was
comment on
smirking.
my-
I knew it.
He's like, I hear your brain saying stuff. I'm like,
Yeah.
Well, and-
I was talking about Chuck. He met some guys at an event over at Maximum AV, and he found them and got hooked up and connected with them, and they're texting and calling. That's what I want to build. I just want to provide a platform that can help people find others that are in their area that are interested in home theater. I've got the platform, we've got the website, I've got the audience. All right. What I don't have is time, But what I've always told people, I don't have time, I make it. And the reality is we all make time for the things that are important to us. And I really think this is important. So I'm making the time, but I get like literally while I was on this call, I got a guy, he just set up one, two guys that just set up one. Joseph is in, where's he at? He's in.
Tell me Hawaii, because I need a trip to Hawaii.
No, he's in Eastern Pennsylvania. So we've
okay.
got a group now set up in Eastern Pennsylvania. Mike Young is he just got set up, so he's setting one up. I think he's in. No, I'm thinking of Miguel. Miguel's in Ohio. So man, there's just so many people that are stepping up, going, "Hey, there's nothing in my group." And so my first comment is, "Are you volunteering?" You know, and they're like, "Oh, what does it entail?"
Yeah,
I'm like, "Be nice, be encouraging." Take 15 minutes to set up a Facebook group. I'll walk you through it. I'll create your banner. We'll link you on our website, get you up and running.
So I guess Paul can't be the Kansas City admin then.
Oh, is that?
You said be nice.
Oh yeah.
That's probably me out right away.
But that's it. I mean, my point is, you don't have to be the expert. You don't.
Not
have
everybody
to be
a moderator.
You don't have to have a dedicated theater room to be the person that starts this.
Mhm.
I just need somebody, because it's funny, because one guy set it up and he said, do you want me to make you an admin? I'm like, no. Why do I want to be an admin of 300 groups? No.
Right.
I don't even want to be a member of your group. No offense.
Yeah.
But I can't be a member of 300, because think about it. If there's 50 states and, if we get to 5 per state, that's a ton of freaking groups.
Yeah.
And so, no, I don't need to be a part of that. That's y'all's group. You do with it what you want. I'm just providing the exposure to your group. I'm going to help you, do my best to drive traffic to it so people can find you. And we're just being the hub and the resource. And this was just a way that I figured, you know what, we can provide. Audiovice does a great job providing a free, tools to build out your theater room on their site. Now, granted, there's some byproducts of that. There's branding from that, because people are going there. They might buy something from. Are we possibly going to pick up maybe some customers from it? Sure. But the motivation and the heart is like, this is a need that I have seen for many years. And I keep hearing the same dang comment. I don't know anybody in my area.
Yep.
I had a moderator, admin, a guy who set up a group, and he said, Michael, I'm setting up a group. I don't know anybody in my area. And I said, that's exactly why you're setting it up. That's the whole point.
For sure.
Oh, man, if you can't tell, I'm pumped about this.
No, you are. I can tell, man. When you made the calling, I thought about saying, can I be the moderator? But the truth of the matter is, like you said, I don't want to do something half-assed, right? So if I knew that I could have 100% of the time to do it, I would definitely, because I'm not going to do it anything half-assed. You guys see that it's taken me this long to do my theater, so I do it as I do it when I can, and I do it to the perfection that I think that I can do. I'm not a skilled carpenter, but I take my time at doing stuff and making sure it's done right. So, but so when you made the calling, I was like, man, can I do this? Do I actually have the time to do this? And I thought about it. I'm like, and then I saw that Bill, a guy that I know, been to his house.
Mm-hmm.
He's been on the podcast. We've done theater tour with him.
Right.
But I saw he volunteered to do it, and I was like, great, because he's the perfect guy to do it. To be honest with you,
there might be, like I said, there may be plenty of other ones in Florida too. We may do a Southwest Florida and a Southeast Florida. It might make sense, because again, the state is pretty wide.
Right, for sure.
Not everybody's going to want to drive that far. So here's my thought. The goal isn't to have 600 people or 1,000 people in this group. The goal is to have 20. Like if you had 20 guys that love home theater and are interested in it, or 30, dude, that is plenty. That would be amazing, because most people know none.
Right.
Or maybe they know one, so that's really the heartbeat here.
And we've had this with AVS Forum, but
Yeah.
The speed at which to communicate and the tools, it's just not as effective. Like
Yeah.
when you IM on AVS, sometimes it just gets lost and whatnot.
Mhm.
And-
Yeah.
And I've experienced with the groups from Texas that community. And I mean, Taylor, I would have never met him if it wasn't for AVS and that forum. But this, I think, is going to allow that to expand outside of people. Because,
Yeah.
I mean, you got to get people to AVS to get
Yeah,
them
ABS is still
involved.
pretty niche. And although
Yeah,
everybody
exactly.
doesn't, I had a guy, he's like, but I won't ever use Facebook. I'm like, I'm sorry, bro. I can't
Yeah.
meet everybody's needs.
Right.
We could have
Yeah.
chose Discord and it would have been so much more difficult
I
because
think Discord is more difficult to
very niche.
navigate through.
but that's what I'm
you know?
saying. Like the average consumer, they don't know how to use Discord. And you got to teach them. And it's like, this
Yeah.
is something people are familiar with. It's easy to set up. I just figure, you know what? Let's go for it. Let's shoot it.
It's a starting
And-
point. And
Yeah.
your market and the target market that you're probably trying to encourage to gather is more likely to be on Facebook anyway.
Yeah.
And I mean, hell, the Central Texas group had one person yesterday.
Mhm.
It has 5 today.
Right.
And now 6.
Yeah.
So it's just kind of a
Yeah.
interesting.
I mean, Bill just started his 2 days ago. He's got 30 members. That's perfect. Like he would, even if his group never grew, if those 30 people were active and they start
Yep.
developing community and friendships and helping each other out. And, I mean, imagine if Don would have had this group, he would have built his dang theater room 5 years ago.
Oh yeah,
Right?
because we would have
Right?
invested
And
him
he just
every
missed that.
day.
Where'd he
Like,
go?
hey, when am I
Yeah.
getting to come over?
I was ready to bust his chops, man. No, but
yeah,
seriously,
that's the whole reason I'm doing this.
Yeah, that's the whole point of that,
Yeah.
man. I
Give
just,
yourself motivation. Yeah.
yeah, so I'm excited about it. And I even asked our group, Don, you missed that, didn't you?
Hmm.
I put be right back in the chat. I actually spilled something, so I went
Okay.
to
I said,
grabbing that.
imagine if Don would have had this group 5 years ago, he would have had his theater done because there would have been some dudes that would have come over to help you build the dang theater.
Yeah. I would have been like,
Hanging
dude,
drywall
come on,
and running
man."
cables. and-
Chuck actually offered to come over a while ago, but
That's one dude though.
You don't want Chuck coming over because if he does something, you're gonna notice how crappy all your craftsmanship.
No,
You're gonna be like,
okay,
oh, man,
time
yeah,
out.
ooh.
Oh.
Put a big timeout on that because I don't know if you remember or not, but Senor Dusty and myself, we measured down to the 32nd of an inch so that he could put it in the CAD.
Mhm.
And there was only one item that was out of line on my theater. I tell you, I build stuff to perfection, man, when I
That's
build
good,
it. So
That's good.
don't
Well, I think
don't knock my craftsmanship, bro.
Yeah, nobody's ever questioned that.
I'm not knocking yours.
It's not the
Complimenting
craftsmanship,
Chuck.
it's timing. That's what it is. It's funny. Yeah, Bill said he invited you. I think it's Bill in the chat. He invited you to be a moderator of that group.
Okay, yeah, no, I definitely can have some time.
That's the-
I've
that's the
been
good thing.
monitoring it because look, I made a post and just said, "Hey, what's up? Where are you guys at?"
Right.
Right. So and I just was hoping people will respond that, "Hey, I'm in Broward, I'm in
did the
Miramar, I'm
same
in
thing.
South
Yep.
Florida, I'm in
Yeah.
I'm in Miami or I'm in West Palm."
Yeah.
So
What's
that
gonna be
was
cool is you may find 3 guys that live in your stinking city that you didn't know existed before.
for sure.
That's
Yep.
the whole point of this, man.
So
And
it's
what's cool
actually
is-
got me looking at because I stopped looking at Facebook for a little while. It's got me looking at Facebook daily now
Mhm.
again because I'm like, hey, who else is in my area?
Yeah.
So I'm excited about it,
Yeah.
right? I know you're super passionate about
Yeah.
it, but I'm excited, man. I want to get some people over to the house. I want to get, I enjoy having people come over. Senor Dusty came over, Chuck came over, had a couple other people come over to check it out. And quite frankly, I'm almost done, right? So I haven't even had my family over,
Mhm.
so I'm excited for them to come over and
I
check
had
it
a guy.
out.
I had a guy recently tell me, and it kind of made me sad, to be honest with you. He said, "Michael, I've never had another enthusiast come over and demo my theater." I was like, I didn't realize like we are so blessed that most of us have had that. We've had people come over and we've been to other people's homes, at least a couple. And there are people out there, they don't have anybody that they feel, because I mean, the reality, even my kids, they like music. They like going in the theater room, but they don't give a rat's butt about anything in there. You know what I mean? They don't care. Even my son, he's got a nice little setup, but he's been rocking a 3.0 system for since he was 12, never even owned a subwoofer, and he's cool with that. He's totally fine. So they don't get it. And my neighbors, they don't get it. They think it's cool. They're like, oh, this is nice, but they don't get it, and they never will, and they don't want to get it. So this allows people to connect with others that get it. And so that's what's cool, man.
For sure. Yeah. No, look, I appreciate you coming on talking about it because, and sorry for the very short notice, but
it's all good, man.
Appreciate you coming on and talking about it. And, you could just see the passion that you have about it, and you've always been passionate and very supportive in this community. So I thank you. I'm sure all of us, thank you. I'm sure all of your Patreons and people that watch your channel, thank you, because you've definitely done a great job of bringing a community together.
Thanks, man.
For sure.
I just want to make an impact. I mean, the reality is I want to leave my life at the end of my life knowing that I impacted people for a positive, more than just subwoofers and speakers and projectors. I love all that stuff. But to me, like this right here, these 4 guys in these squares, that's what matters. The friendships, the phone calls, the text messages, there's that handful of people that what's going on in their life, their struggles, when, their house is being foreclosed on, or they have to move, or they lost their job, and you're building those genuine friendships. That's what's cool, man.
Well, hopefully none of that's happening.
No, I hope not either, but the reality life hits us sometimes.
For sure.
And what's cool is when you have a community that gets it, they understand it, or like your system is just it's broken, it ain't working, and they get it, and they're like, well, let me come over and let me help you fix it.
Yeah, and Scott touched on that earlier in the show. Such a great community, lots of friendships made over the years, for sure.
That's what, to me, that's what it's all about. And again, nobody wants to see home theater die. Like just like the 2-channel audio files, they don't want to see that die. But the reality is, if we don't bring new people in, if we don't get them excited about it, it will die like anything else. And so I want to bring in new people. I want to teach people. But, these groups, imagine I host a home theater get together in January, which I'm going to do. And let's say Bill, he's got a living room set up, but he's got a friend that likes his setup, but he has never done anything in his house. He's like, hey, can I bring him? Well, yeah, you can bring him. And then he comes to my house and he goes, dang, I want this in my life. And then he gets pumped up, and now he goes home and he starts researching, and he figures out he wants to do a big TV, or he wants to do a projector, or, and so I just think there's so much good that can come from this. And I think industry leaders are going to win from this. Brands are going to win from this. Consumers. I think it's a win-win for everybody.
For sure.
There can be negativity, there can be drama, there can be whatever, but
of course, anybody's going to try to say that you're doing this for self-promotion and everything else. But you didn't even ask to come on this show, but I'm going to promote. So let's talk about
full transparency. I hope that we get some kind of benefit from this. If we don't, I did something for the community, and that's amazing. If nothing else, we're getting brand recognition. People at least know who Obsessed Home Theater is, and that we're the ones starting this initiative. And of course, I would love for people to say, man, I appreciate what Michael's done for the community. I'd love to support him and buy something from him. That'd be great. But that's not the purpose of it. That would be a byproduct of doing what's right and meeting the need of the community.
And like we said, I literally text Michael.
He was like
15 minutes before it was about maybe about an hour before the show. So hey, you want to come on and just talk about your community? So
Yeah.
he has no idea that I'm going to talk about, you know, what brands he sells. Like
Mhm.
I'm a dealer, Derek's
Mhm.
a dealer,
Mhm.
Senor Dusty's a dealer. You know, we there's plenty of business for all of us, right?
100%.
And I want to
100%.
promote
Okay.
people just like you want to promote the community. I want to promote brands and different communities and different people. You know, we all, there's, like I said, there's room for all of us for sure.
100%,
You know,
man.
and I don't do this for a living. I know you do this for a living now, and
Mhm.
you do, you know, your YouTube channel and stuff like that for a living. So by all means, if you guys are, you know, looking for stuff,
Mhm.
you know,
Yeah.
contact Derek, contact Senior Dusty, contact, you know, Obsessed Home Theater. So let's talk about some of the brands that you're carrying. And like I said, this is nothing that, you know, was scripted or
Mhm.
anything like that. So I want to get that out of everybody's head right now. I asked Michael to come on here and talk about the community, but I feel like, you know, they're offering quality products here.
Mhm.
So we need to talk about those too. So you made an announcement not too long ago about bringing on JVC, right? So
Yeah.
you're JVC projector dealer, right?
Yeah.
And I believe you got like one of the most hardest licenses to obtain with JVC, or
Yeah.
hardest like dealerships to be with JVC, to where you can literally sell through the internet. Is that's correct, right?
Yeah. The short version of that is a lot of brands don't want to sell online, like an add to cart. There's some brands on there, if you went to like Red Atom or Mad VR, you're not going to find a buy button. There's a contact button. It sends us an email and says, hey, I'm interested in Mad VR. I'm interested in this. Then we have to have a conversation. But with JVC, we have made an agreement with them that we are, I think, their 7th online retailer. And these are up against companies like Crutchfield, companies like Audio Advice. These are huge companies, you know, sometimes hundreds or thousands of employees, big businesses. And I'm truly, truly grateful, and I'm honored that JVC trusts us enough with their product, representing the brand, that we're going to honor our agreement with them, you know? And it's strict, man. It's like a 6-month process for us. I mean, it was back and forth, a lot of legal documents, a lot of agreements. And so it's a big deal because they want to make sure, like, look, here's our guidelines. Like, they're real specific on the website. You've got to say this, you got to have this. Whereas a lot of other brands, we have the flexibility. Like, most of the descriptions I write, you know, because I don't want this to be just a regurgitation of the brand's website, not a copy paste. This isn't AI. This is Michael saying, here's my take on it. Here's my experience with this product. And so, you know, that's why, you know, we just wanted to provide something different. Our website doesn't have everything. We don't want to carry everybody's brand. I want to just select a few specific things that I know and that I love. Not that other brands aren't great, but this is just the brands that I love. We just brought on Mini DSP. We, not too long ago, brought on Red Atom. JVC is very new. And so we're slowly building the case of why Michael chose these brands, why I use them in my theater room. And, you know, if I like them, I figure there's other people out there that would like them too. And then we're going to teach them how to use those, set them up, calibrate them, and just have a good time with it.
For sure. So do you have the new JTR speakers on there that Scott is going to be?
No. So we don't have any of that on there. That's top secret. Scott hasn't even revealed that on his channel. Jeff did let the cat out of the bag during the Audioholics event. It was kind of funny because he said, Gene was telling me, he said, now, Jeff, I know this Kalo sounds amazing, man. This little 12-inch thing is rocking, especially for a 12-inch sub. But, you know, you really probably ought to make a 15 and maybe an 18. And Jeff looks at him and kind of gets quiet and he goes, a 24? And so I had one of my local guys. He's like, Michael, did he just say 24? I'm like, what are you talking about? Because I couldn't say nothing. And he's like, no, Jeff's making a 24. Is that what Scott's building? I'm like, I don't know. Where are you getting this information? He's like, Gene said it, or Jeff said it in the video. So I had to go watch the video, and I'm like, okay, well, if Jeff said it, then all right, then I can at least say that, yeah, there's probably a 24 in the works. And then Scott was able to share that on his channel. So, yeah, so he's coming out with some RTJ 24s. So he's getting into the bigger, we're an authorized dealer for JTR, RTJ. Scott's a dealer for both as well. But yeah, Jeff's just nuts, but that's what a lot of guys want. They want the bigger subwoofers. So he's just meeting the demand of those true hardcore enthusiasts.
I'm just hoping that they're in a compact box.
I wouldn't get your hopes up, brother.
I mean, 24. You got it.
Yeah, no, I mean, how compact can 24 be? Right?
Is going to be pretty big for that.
For sure.
sure.
I mean, it could be the size of my RS2s.
Because honestly, the 18s, the RS1s, they're not the box isn't that big.
Like 21, yeah. 21,
you have that when you have that one when you're Let me go to that one here.
Yeah.
Let's see.
I need to start
to the right, up to the right, subwoofers.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, we've got the Kalos, the JTR series, and the subwoofers.
So yeah, the RS1s. I mean, those you look. There's not a lot of extra box. You know what I'm saying? For
a massive cabinet.
So
being sealed allows you to do that. When you go to the 2400, then it's ported, so you're gonna have a substantially larger cabinet on that.
Yeah.
If you click on the scroll up just a little bit, hit scroll up just a little bit.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah, up's the other direction. And click specs. You'll see the dimensions there. I think it's like 21 by 20. Yeah, 21 by 21.
Yeah. Actually, when I built the platforms in the back of my theater, I came to the JTR website and I was like, all right, how big is the RS1s? Because I need to know if I'm going to eventually go to them, if it's going to fit in that spot. So yeah, that's how I know. I mean, look, if you're looking at 21 by 21 with an 18-inch woofer in it, you know what I mean? It's like I said, there's not a lot of extra room. So I was kind of hoping that for the 24, maybe it'd be like,
it could be
27 by 27 or something like that.
I mean, it's not going to be like an Ascendo massive,
right
80-inch box kind of thing. So
yeah. So we talk about JTR, and you got Perlison also, right?
Yeah. So Perlison, basically, Perlison has always been incredible. They measure extremely well, huge output. I mean, they were the first company to ever hit THX Dominus certification. There may have been other brands that could meet that, but they knew as a new company hitting the scene, selling, I kind of consider it luxury pricing. I mean, this is when you're talking $10,000 for a pair of speakers, that's significant money.
Right.
And so they knew if they were that was their target audience coming out the gate, they better have some credentials behind them because nobody's going to buy their product. And the way they chose to do that is, you know what? We're going to get THX Dominus certified on every stinking speaker that we make. And so they had, I think when I interviewed them, when they first came out, I flew up to Wisconsin, I think it was Wisconsin, and they had 21 speakers and subwoofers that were THX Dominus certified within like the first year. It was wild. And then later they came out with the R series, which is a much more, it is much more affordable, but it's still pricey.
Yeah.
But it's about half the cost of the S series. And so we're an authorized dealer for them. So if you need something beautiful, or they also have an amazing in-wall system. Most in-wall systems are compromised. I don't feel that at all with the Perlison system. If you need something that saves some space, clean, but just like Matthew Pose has a full in-wall system, and you would never guess that Joker was an in-wall. If I walked in and closed my eyes and he cranked it up, I wouldn't go, yeah, sounds decent, but it's probably in walls. No, like this thing sounds like a freaking mini tower. He's got them big bad boys, the 7, I think he's got the S7 eyes.
Yeah.
They're monstrous, but he's got big LCRs right behind the screen. And then he's got the smaller ones for his surrounds. Again, they're not cheap, but they perform amazingly. Having that DPC array with the vertical mid-range and the tweeter, that's going to give you a much better sound, especially when you're doing like a horizontal center. Aaron from Aaron's Audio Corner made a video on why most center channels suck. And that was one of the things that he said. He's like, look, most of the time when you got an MTM, like, you got your mid-range on the outside and a tweeter in the middle, you start getting some funky issues. It's not as good sonically, especially off axis. But when you can have that vertical mid-range and tweeter, that's what Perlisten said. Look, we know the logic of that. And then they put that waveguide there to help with dispersion. So they know what they're doing. Everything they make is based on science. And so that's why we chose them. But we needed something that could go in a living room that was pretty, because JTR ain't going in most people's living room.
For sure.
So that ain't pretty. And it ain't small.
Yeah, I tell you, the only subwoofer that I thrive for, other than the RS1, is the Perlisten. What is it, 215 or whatever it is?
Yeah, D215S.
Let's see.
Yeah, it's a beast. Yeah, they use a push-pull configuration in that series.
Yeah.
And so what was that brand?
MNK.
That's it. Yeah. So they were like the
original
OGs of that.
So
right?
we talked about M&K last week. They actually just came out with a Dominus in-wall speaker also.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, so you may want to look at them also, Mike, for as a brand to maybe bring aboard too, just to have some different options.
Yeah. The next thing I want to do, of course, we started kind of at the top. We started with a lot of the things that are in my theater room, and we're still building that out. It would be easy just to automatically put everything on there, but we're wanting to build the case through video. We wanted to share that story. So that's why we're just slowly introducing each one of these brands. But eventually, I need to find, all right, what's for the guy that's just getting into this? He doesn't have $10,000 for a subwoofer,
right?
Or probably isn't going to spend $10,000. Yeah, it's like, okay, well, what's for him? All right, well, let's figure that out. Is that ELAC? Is it Klipsch? Is it SVS? What is it? And so that's where I've got to chase that down. Same thing with projectors. Not everybody's going to spend $15,000 on a projector. That's why I'm checking out this Valerian. That's why I got a Hisense in, these lifestyle projectors. And I'm like, okay, I could see how this could be a legit projector for somebody that doesn't have, $8,000 to spend on a projector or more. $5,000, $4,000, heck of a projector. Now you're missing out on a lot of the features that JVC has and Epson and Sony. But if you're just looking for a bright image, you're looking for something super affordable, might be a good option. And so again, we have to figure those out.
Yeah. So for any of you that are watching, as you can see, Michael has multiple brands, Kaleidoscape, Red Atom for a rack, JVC for projectors. He's even got banana plugs, so head over to Obsessed Home Theater, check out what they have. By all means, support them. Michael's doing great things in the community. And like I said, Michael, I invited Michael an hour before the show, so he had no clue that I was even going to talk about, Obsessed.
I was coming back home that we finished the Christmas party. I was going to edit a video, but I'm like, yeah, I'll hop on, man. I appreciate the invite.
Yeah, no, I definitely appreciate you. But Paul's saying that he's got to jump here very shortly. So I just want to, before you leave, Paul, I know I kind of gave you a little topic. So and the topic that I'm going to go around the room, and then we'll get back to what I've been working on and watched in the home theater. So the question that I got for everyone, even in the chat. Yeah, obviously we got the Christmas background going, right? So, or holiday background. So, what are you sitting on Santa's lap and asking for, Paul?
Wow. Wow.
Well, I'm gonna leave that first part out. But
Wow.
You're more than welcome to partake whatever you like, man. If that's the first gift you want. I'm more of a giver, not a receiver. But hey, to each their own.
Oh goodness. I had to go there. No,
Yeah.
seriously. What's on your short list for cost no object? Obviously, we all want a Christie projector, but something reachable, right?
Attainable, yeah.
What's on the short list of your Christmas
Well,
list?
I don't honestly. As far as home theater wise, there's really nothing on. I'm trying to think. I was like, is there anything that right now? The only thing that I want to do, hopefully before Christmas, is finish, my DIY, speakers that I got, and because right now this is just Gen 1, right? So it's what I want to do is get my prototype built, listen to it, see what it sounds like. And then what I really want to do is, how we did our $10,000 affordable theater thing.
Yes.
I want to do that, but even cheaper. I want to basically have the first fully 3D printed home theater.
Okay.
So
more parts, I guess, for what you got. What you're using? What speakers are you using for the
right
drivers?
now I'm just using the Parts Express Dyne Audio. The tweeter, man, you can tell that thing. It's a dome tweeter, but man, that thing's like a beast. The mid ranges, I'm like, they feel like they're cardboard, but the tweeter, man, it weighs a couple pounds. I'm like, what the hell?
So I know, Michael, you've done I don't know if it still ranks, but you did a home theater tour to where the guy did all DIY speakers, right?
Yeah.
And at the point in time, you said it was one of the top theaters that you had been in.
Yeah, that was if you search for on YouTube, if you look for Youthman, let me see. I gotta remember the word. It's not Epic. Youthman. Oh man. But it's Michael Persano. He's actually down in Florida. He's down on the kind of like west, kind of south area. Excuse me. If you search for Youthman End Game, it's big yellow writing. It says In Game Home Theater, 206-inch screen, but he has DIY sound group. Big, massive subwoofers. He has 421s, maybe something like that.
Wow.
In his room, but it was all DIY. It's a cool stinking room, like a really, really nice room. It's a big room too.
Wow.
Yeah, he's got like 12 theater seats. And this is the guy that hooked me up with Red Atom. He can afford whatever brand he wanted, but he chose Red Atom. And so when we started Obsessed Home Theater, I reached out to him like, what was that brand? And I went back to the video and I'm like, let's check this out. Let's get one in. And I'm like, dude, this thing's great. It doesn't have some of the features that the other ones don't, but the reality is like a middle Atlantic will cost you twice as much. So this is way more affordable for like a 42U. You can get for $1,800. So, and it includes all the shelving and everything. But anyway, so he was running Emotiva amplifiers. It was funny because you see in the comments, they're like, I can't believe he's got this amazing theater and he's running Emotiva amps. I'm like, I guarantee you couldn't walk in that room and listen to it and go, you know what? Everything sounds great except he's got crappy amps. That's
Yeah.
bullshit.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Well, I'm taking offense
So
now because I
weird.
have Emotiva amplifiers myself.
Yeah. But you know, you got these snobby people that they're like, well,
Right.
if you got money, you need to be
I need the amplifier that'll last 50 years. It's like,
Yeah.
or I could buy this one like 25 times if this one.
Yeah. So
It's like,
he's got an amazing system. But yeah, that's a DIY sound group. Phenomenal system.
I
Sounds
tell you
like
what,
really
I like Emotiva because one of my buddies, one of his Emotivas, I forgot what it was. Anyways, I put it on the old workbench to repair it, and there's a circuit detector because you can do 110 or 220 on there, and basically it was detecting the wrong voltage, and the caps needed replaced. So I went ahead and replaced the caps, but it basically, long story short, I repaired it, and all of the components and everything, they're not hiding anything. It's not one of those, oh, let's scratch out the marking. Like, they're fully repairable if you know how to troubleshoot electronics. And that's rare. Yeah, I mean, usually it's like, oh, let's make this board and let's put black epoxy over everything so you can't even touch the board without completely destroying it. And it's
Yeah.
like, so I on that aspect, it's nice. I mean, so a guy that, you know, has an electronics engineering degree and I was like, man, these are nice, and they're good components too. I mean, they're not your golden component, but they're not low end components in those at all. They're
Look, I wonder because I had thought about just for voltage matching with my Lindorf. I wondered, should I go ahead and get the MX8 amps? You know, the noise floor, I think I'll hear a small difference, but I don't have any hiss or hum in my speakers or anything like that. So I'm not searching for noise floor. You know, I don't, you know, usually when you want to upgrade, you want to try to find something that you have an issue with. Right. So I'm not having any issue. And I even talked to Abe. I'm like, you know, what do you think? He's like, man, those amps are working fine, you know? So, you know, it's, my front, I have the DR3 from Emotiva, and so I'm getting 650 watts to my front channels, you know, so it's and then my side surrounds are getting over 300 watts to each of the side surrounds too, and along with the Atmos speakers. So I don't feel a need, and they're not like, I did have 4 amps hooked to one 20 amp circuit, and when I really got on it, the DR3 would star for power. But since I moved it to a second 20 amp circuit, not an issue. Period. So I got 3 amps running on 120 amp and the DR3 running on a second 20 amp, and man, I enjoy them. So
yeah.
Just to give promotion for Emotiva too.
Yeah, that's cool. Yeah. Well, with that's pretty much all that I've.
So you're just looking to get your stuff done and get some parts.
Yeah, I'd like to get something done with all this, equipment purchase.
No Epson upgrade to the brighter projector.
It's not that much brighter.
Okay.
I mean. Not well. The
depends on which one.
I know you're an Epson fan.
$60,000 one.
Yeah.
No, even the what's the middle one? 6,000 lumens. So I'm sure you'd see a huge
15,000.
Yeah.
17,000.
That's 15,000, 16,000. That's a hard pill to swallow.
But it's bright.
Yeah.
It's very, very bright.
You know what? Kind of interesting. So speaking of that, so Epson, I was curious. I'm like, these guys have been talking up this Epson. I got to see one. So I reached out to them, and I think I wanted to see if they could send me the middle one. And they're like, hey, we don't have the middle one in stock, but we can send you the big one. I'm like, okay, yeah, send me the most expensive freaking one you got, $35,000. I mean, it's cool, but vast majority of people ain't gonna afford this, but I'm like, all right, it'd be a cool experience. I'm all about getting personal experience.
Yep.
And I got it. Really loved it. It's a great projector. The black levels weren't. That's just was
Yeah,
the
we all
biggest
know that,
draw for that.
Yeah.
But for big, massive screen, like golly, that's a lot of output. You could
Mhm.
have an enormous screen and
Mhm.
still easily reach HDR levels. And so that's where that really, really, really shines. And so I get it. And right before I was getting ready to put it back in the box and I'm thinking, am I gonna hook my JVC NZ800 up and go, oh, this sucks. This is so dim. Surprisingly, not once. It is not near the brightness. It
Right.
really, really isn't. But the brightness that I'm getting out of it, there was nothing in me that was going,
Yeah.
I got
Exactly,
crappy
that's exactly where I'm at. I'm like, dude, I can still
I'm
enjoy
glad because I
movies.
didn't want to have to spend some big
Yeah.
money to get an Epson,
Yeah, that would be like if I got
Oh,
if
gosh.
I got a Trin off in or something like that, and I'd be like,
You fell in love with it.
do I really want to send this thing back?
Exactly.
You know?
Oh,
Exactly.
yeah, exactly.
So sometimes it's nice just that, you get that experience. Like I've experienced, to me, what I consider the best projector out there, and that's Christie.
Mhm.
That Eclipse is just crazy beautiful.
Yeah, for
It's got
sure.
almost OLED blacks. It's
Yes.
phenomenal. But I come back to mine and go, man, but I'm so satisfied with what I've got.
Yeah, my
Yeah,
NZ8,
Totally agree.
my NZ8 for
On that note, I'm
See you,
gonna
brother.
call it.
see you,
See
Paul.
guys.
Thanks for
See you,
coming
Paul.
on, man. Appreciate you.
Yeah.
Have a
good-
safe trip, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah,
thanks.
man. Enjoy it.
All right.
Get some rest.
Later, guys.
So yeah, no, I think about it too. I'm like, my NZ8, am I really missing? Do I? Because I thought about it. I'm like, do I want to go to the N? What is the N9 NZ900 now? Do I want to put that in as a dealer? I'm going to put it in. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? But
Yeah.
do I think that I need it? I don't think that I need it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But as a dealer, I have to put it in. You know what I
Mhm.
mean? Just to be able to show people the difference and stuff like that. So
What size screen do you have, Don?
160.
Yeah.
And I haven't even
Yeah.
hooked up the Panamorph lens to it yet.
Mhm.
And I'm still getting. Look at Scottio, man.
Oh,
Thank
buddy.
you, Scottio. Thanks for the super chat, bro.
Oh, geez.
Appreciate you. Thanks so much. Appreciate
Yeah.
that.
Well, and Michael, we've talked about this before as well. The when you have experienced something for a long time and it has the thing you personally like in the image,
Yeah.
seeing what's better in a different way, you see that and then it gives you that experience and it's great to experience.
Sure.
But then it doesn't necessarily make it that yours is crap or whatever. And that's that by comparison, it's always tricky. But
I'll be back.
it's I got to experience just a couple weeks ago the M4K 25, the newer version, but it doesn't have the Vader on it yet. But
Okay.
dude, it's still
That Vader is unbelievable. I mean,
Yeah.
that's the one that, and I know we talked about the Christie Griffin, but if I were to shoot for a projector, it was going to be the one that was in what the Alcon's room with the Vader.
Yeah.
That would be
Yeah.
the one that I would shoot for. I believe it's going to be much more obtainable.
But but that one is the commercial version of
right.
just below the Eclipse. The M4K, that series, we'll call it reasonable comparatively speaking, right? Compared to the $400,000.
Correct.
But all those, oof, that's one of those like he says in Ferris Bueller, if you have the means, I highly recommend it.
For sure. So yeah, no, we I don't know if I'd ever put $100,000 projector in my house. I don't know. I don't know if I could could pull the trigger now.
You'd have to be crazy balling.
Look, if I won, you know, the meme that they say, if you win the lotto, there would be signs, right? You know, there would be signs, right? But you wouldn't know, but there would definitely be signs. But,
Right.
you know, it's I don't know. I'm very satisfied with the JVC. You know, I'm not in need of anything. I don't feel like, and that's the reason I haven't even hooked up the Panamorph lens yet. I got a $6,000 Panamorph lens just sitting there that I haven't even put on. I haven't even put on yet. You know, I definitely want to. Once I finish the theater, I'm going to put it on to see if it's 100% necessary or not. See how much more light output that I'm going to get.
Like that. Like I've even considered having one to mine just to get the additional brightness. So I don't know yet, but I think I'd like to at least try it to see what it looks like.
For sure. Yeah. I mean, the new lens that they have is like 15, 20 grand, something like that. You know, just for the lens, right?
Yeah. No.
So, but
it's a lot.
you know, yeah, for sure.
I mean, at that price, I'd look for the ISCO lens on the used market.
So by the time you do that, right, you add that lens, and then you got the top of the line JVC, you're up into the 50,000-60,000 range. So why not look at the brighter Barcos or the brighter Christies that are going to be in that range, right? So that's, you know, not knocking Panamorph, but you know that is when you got a lens the price of a projector, you know, it's questionable, you know, and same thing goes with the video processors too, right? I mean, by the time you add Mad VR to one of these more expensive projectors, you know, or you get an Epson LS 12,000 and a Mad VR, or you know, now you're competing right there with some of the upper 4K, you know, projectors that are out there, the JVC, and you know, even some of these, you know, Barcos that are obtainable, you know, by the time you add that processor in line, you know. So
for sure,
it's just all about how you want to go at it, right? You know, how if you think you can, and we always say you shouldn't be upgrading unless you find a need for something, right? So if you're seeing an issue with your system, then it's time to upgrade. If you're seeing, you know, that the blacks are crushing, or you know, you're not getting the detail out of the thing, okay, then but you don't necessarily need to upgrade just to upgrade.
The reality, though, there ain't a single thing we own that's a need. Do you need?
No, nothing's a need for sure.
You don't need an NZ8, but it sure is nice, you know.
Speaking of need, I'm going to get to what I've been working on.
Oh yeah, what is it?
So we talked about, you know, I was going to come back about this. Speaking of need, which I absolutely don't need. I set up the old video board just outside. Now my phone, this is just my phone, so it's not the Samsung Galaxy cameras are absolutely awful. You guys that use the iPhones for webcam and stuff, they work really well, but yeah, I've had a frame TV for quite some time. I purchased it solely for this application, and I went to digital movie poster app, and you know, downloaded the program. I did donate, even though it says not registered. I did donate. I just got to put the registration code into there so that it'll get the not registered on there. But man, this thing turned out freaking awesome. I mean, I haven't turned it off since I installed it. And I mean, it is feature rich for basically a freeware. I mean, it's unbelievable with the amount of thought that the person put into this. So I don't know if anyone else has set this up, but it's let me go to the page here. Let's see here. So it's literally movieposterapp.com. And it has multiple features. Like I said, you can control it remotely. You can it automatically downloads all the speakers for you. You can do your own custom logo. It has banners going across the top that you can that will switch for no burn in if you decide to put like an OLED up. There is a web remote control for it. I just thought it was like
Nice.
super intuitive. I mean, and there's a guide that literally they go through everything for you on features and system requirements, everything for you to get this set up, what you need. And it goes through every single feature. My wife, I came home the other day and my wife was like, hey, there's a picture of a lady holding a gun smoking cigarettes. Do you think that's a good picture for our son to see? I'm like, you know what? Let me go in and change it to where I only get like PG-13, or because you can set the ratings of the posters to where you don't actually get those type of posters anymore. But I did turn them back on just for this purpose. So if you do see some posters going on there that may be a little bit racy for kids, but just for the sole purpose, I did turn them back
right
on. But there you go. Yeah. So, but yeah, so it's really cool, man. I'm enjoying it. And like I said, it's feature rich, with everything that you can do for a freeware. I donated $20 to the guy, for setting up the program, and there is a monthly donation that you can do, and I always like to support stuff like this. Make MKV, I support all the time, multiple donations, just kind of like Patreon. So I'll definitely support this a little bit more, as make a couple more donations to it also. But anybody else in the chat that has set one of these up, sound off in the chat. Let us know what you think about it. But I'm super excited about the way that this turned out. It really turned out well.
Are you running it? What are you running it on?
So I bought a mini PC. So that's a great question. Thank you for that. So what I did was, this is a frame TV, so it's literally flush to the wall. So there is literally no room for behind the TV. So I bought one of those plastic Lagrange boxes that you install into your wall, and I put the OneSync box in that. And I'm using a mini PC is what it's called, and literally it's a. Let me go back to me here. So take this off. But what it is it's a literally like an HDMI port. It's kind of like your Fire Stick is what it looks like, and it's a Windows 10 PC. I picked it up for $99. It plugs directly into the OneSync box, and I bought a wireless keyboard. I think it was $24. I went to Office Depot. I bought a wireless keyboard and a mouse for $24. I hooked it in. It's got two USB spots, and I control it literally through that. I have not experienced the web application yet for controlling it, so I haven't actually, played around with it that much. But I just got this hooked up the other day. I posted some pictures on our Facebook group chat. But yeah, man, I mean, I was going to do two of these, so I actually have two frame TVs, but I decided not to do one on the other side. It just went with the one right outside the theater. So, and it fits perfectly. I mean, it's literally like 1/3 of the door. So like 1/3 up top, 1/3, so it fits perfectly. It looks really good if I were to back my camera up. But yeah, I'm super excited about that.
That looks awesome, man.
Yeah, there's the picture that my wife said that.
All right. That's
do I think that's appropriate?
You're like, I see cleavage. What's going on?
I mean, It's Pulp Fiction.
Yeah, for sure. What did we talked about that the last time? There's like 400 F words in that movie or something like that.
Wow.
But yeah, so yeah, I'm super excited about it. I thought it came out really well. I'm also doing a little bit more work in the theater. I didn't watch any movies this week. I did start after we got off of the stream. I did start watching Tron, not the newest one, but what is it, Legacy Tron, the middle one.
Yeah.
I did start watching that one last Thursday, and literally I popped some popcorn, and I got to like 15 minutes of the movie, and my wife calls me. She goes, "The boy's getting sick. Come up here."
Oh boy.
So I had to go up, and because I was trying to prepare for the new Tron, to know what's going on with that one. So I was trying to prepare to be able to watch that, and then just craziness throughout the rest of the week. So I didn't really get to watch any movies for this week. So I don't have any recommendations for this week, but did do a lot of theater work. Got a lot of the blocking done for the fabric walls and stuff like that. So I'm trying to get everything done by January, the end of January. I'm thinking that I want it 100% presentable. That way we can start inviting people from Obsessed Home Theater South Florida over.
There you go. What are you wishing for Christmas? If you
Okay, so yeah, thank you for asking that. So storage is what I'm
physical
looking for.
or media
storage. So I need two things of storage. So right now I'm rocking about 7 of these, right, for my Arvolution. I don't even use my Arvolution because I don't have any of these hooked up. They're just sitting over here right now. So I want a NAS is what I want. I want a NAS that's open, that I had the Arvolution NAS in. The only thing I would say about that is it worked perfectly. It was a great device. But if you want to be able to have full control over it, they lock that thing down. So I want to have full control over it. So that I'm looking for storage for that. And
you need to fly Paul out and have him build you an Unraid server.
Yeah, yeah, for sure. I mean,
it's as open as it gets.
Yeah, for sure. So I'm going to do that. I'm probably going to get that, and then Kaleidoscape. So I'm running the Strato V right now. I do have the Strato S, but the Strato S is full. I'm tired of when people come over that I have to download the 10 movies that are my demo movies.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm really thinking about getting that 8 terabyte, the Tera Prime, that I can download a movie in 4 seconds. Yeah, not 4 seconds, but about 4 minutes.
SSD doesn't do that.
Yeah, no, I was joking around. No, it's about 4 minutes is what it is, 4 to 5 minutes.
You're looking for an SSD?
Yeah, I'm going to do the SSD one. I think the 8, because I have the Strato S, right? So that's already got 6 terabytes. Plus that one will be another 8. Yeah. You know what I mean? So
can they both be on the same? Will the Strato S and it work on the same system, or do you have to have them in different accounts or different instances?
I think I have to have them differently. I can't recall. I have to go into their extranet and find out if they're compatible with each other. But I don't know that they would pull to create one full server. I don't because the Strato S is a little older. But any of the new stuff, the Strato C, Strato Tera servers, the regular Prime servers, all that stuff is definitely I know for a fact is 100% compatible. I do remember them saying with the Strato V that the Strato S, you wouldn't be able to see the same movies, but I don't know when you add a Tera server if that's something I got to research and find out.
If you lose it,
Yeah. So
Local storage.
well, you would lose the 1 terabyte for
Right,
the
right.
for the
On the
Strato
V.
V.
Yeah.
But the question is, will I see everything from the Strato S and
That
the
part,
Terra
yeah.
server?
Yeah, that I don't know if it's
Yeah,
easy.
I'm not sure either. So
Yeah.
I'd have to see that. But the good thing is I could always hook both of them up, right? I have extra
separately.
HDMI ports just, and I can run them HDMI 1, HDMI 2
Mhm.
if I needed to, right? And I could use the Terra server with the 8 terabyte. I could use that as my demo clip. You know what I
Mhm.
mean? So I would never have to change
Yeah.
anything there. But yeah, that's on my short list for the for Christmas.
And you're
So
a dealer for that Kaleidoscape, right?
yes, sir. Yeah,
Yeah, so you'll be
Yeah.
able to at
Well,
least
and the
save some
upside-
money there. It's still expensive, but
for sure. Yeah.
Well, on the upside too, if you kept the S and the V separate with separate inputs, you could show that benefit of that the V's image quality. But you don't have you have to do an LLDV to get to kind of convert that Dolby Vision into the right thing for your JVC. But still,
Well, I
when-
have the Lumigen, so it does it.
yeah. Well, because
So,
we
but,
did a comparison at Jeff's
Mhm.
a couple weeks ago and he has a V and then he had a C as well connected up, and we did some comparisons with that, and it wasn't light years different, but it was noticeably better. The
Oh,
V
yeah.
was definitely better.
You thought the V, so as far as playback or as far as
Yeah.
menus?
Playback. Oh, the menu on the V is right. 'Cause
Yeah,
it's 2K.
Yeah.
But the actual playback, the video performance, it was slightly noticeably better. It's not, would I get rid of a C to get a V? Only if I had lots of disposable income.
Right.
But if that's where you're going, or if you're starting new, it's nice.
Yeah, no, I mean, I thought about selling the S, right? Because I know I could still get pretty good money for it. There's a good market out there. I probably could get almost what I paid for it, which was like $3,000.
Yeah.
But the problem is that I'm not a fan of the 1080p menus.
Yeah.
The Strato S and Strato C are in 4K.
Mhm.
And that's what I wish, that the movie posters for the Strato V would be in 4K, or I wouldn't even question selling it if they were in 4K, because I know I'm going to get the full video wall, and I can get the full video wall now with the S. You just got to go to your movies and you can see the full thing, but
Yeah.
it's compromises, right? First world
Yeah.
problems.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For sure.
I would say this: if you're thinking about ever selling the S, I'd sell it soon, because it has come down, but you're right, it is still kind of in that 3,000 range, but it's kind of like it. I was looking a while back, and it's kind of in that 3,500, 4,000, and 3,000 is kind of in that range
Yeah.
again now. I missed by like seconds getting an S6 terabyte for $1,000
Ooh.
on eBay. Full. I think it was even still under warranty.
Hmm.
The guy was just trying to get out of it. I got the notification on my phone that it went on. I went and hit the buy it now button, and it said it was no longer available.
Snagged it. Dang.
Wow.
And I mean, within seconds, and it was still like,
Yeah. That would have been a hell of a buy. Yeah, they have a 12 terabyte one too
yeah, no.
for the S. That
Yep.
I could have gotten one of those for just a couple, maybe like another 1,000.
Yeah.
But than what I paid for this one. But we, myself and Gene, we knew there was a guy selling 2 of them, and he was upgrading to like a full Terra system
Big
and
one.
Strato C and stuff like that. So there's a couple different ways I can go with that. I was thinking about just getting like a 24 terabyte, the regular, because it would cost me almost the same, as far as that and the SSD, maybe 1,000 or 2 more. But I thought about doing that. I don't know what I'm going to do, but yeah, storage is on my list. No other equipment. I'm pretty satisfied with how my system sounds. Um, Looking forward to putting some sound treatments to tighten up the bass and just start localizing, in the room a little bit more than what the Room Perfect is doing, right now. So just to get rid of some of that decay time. But yeah, no, other than that, how about you? How about you, Michael? Anything on the short list?
The short list is Smurf tubing.
Smurf
I
tubing?
have had an HDMI cable that is running along my floor, up my back wall in every single one of my videos for the past year. It is, you see it like right
Yeah.
here. And it goes up and goes into my window for the projector. I was just looking up today. It's one of the things, you need to do it. Rui Pro sent me a cable a year ago.
Mhm.
And I just don't want to climb in an attic until I can verify this thing is going to work,
Mhm.
because that was one of the things when I was building my theater room 20 years ago. I knew I needed to run conduit, but I didn't want to do the extra expense, even though it's not that much money. I didn't want to do the extra labor. I cheaped out, and it comes to bite you in the butt. And so now it's like, dang, now I got to actually. So the other thing is I have to get into that attic, I have to take everything out of my daughter's closet because it's inside her closet. We have an access in the garage, but there's like a wall there. So you can't get into the house. You can get to the garage area, but you can't get into the house from there. And I'm like, oh man. So it's just always a hassle. So I hate that. But I know I need to run 2 HDMI cables. I'm probably going to run a Cat 6 cable so I can do Ethernet to my projector and be able to control that via IP for remotes. And then of course a pull string. So but I was looking into that. So that's on the short list. That's a doable. I need to get that done. And then when I want to swap out a cable, it's not a big deal, if money were no object, I'd probably step up to an NZ900. I'd love to have the extra brightness, the crisper glass.
Mhm.
There's definitely some benefits, but there's a significant cost in going from a NZ800 to an NZ900. So
Yeah. No,
and like you said, I mean, I'm not doing without. You know what I'm saying?
For sure,
I'm
for sure.
enjoying my system. I love my system. Audio wise, there's not a single thing I'd change, other than I really do need to take some measurements of my subs, because when I reviewed the Anthem AVM 70, I wanted to, I had a mini DSP in the system, but I wanted to see what can just the Anthem do. And, would I be satisfied with that? And so I removed it out of the unit, and I've been listening to that thing for, I don't know how long, when I bought the AVM 70, but I liked it enough. I said, hey, I want to buy this thing. So I bought it, and, but I never added the mini DSP back. So I know there's no doubt, because the way my room is, the shape, where my seats are, I'm sitting in a null. There's no doubt. But I've been enjoying the heck out of it. And so what I need to do though is I need to put that back in, or I need to measure it first, put it back in, and see if I can get it. I cheated on my system. I say cheated because there's pretty significant null, and my JTR subs have so much headroom in my room.
You just powered it out.
I make the house curve at the bottom of the null.
Yeah.
I lose a lot of output, but I promise you, I'm not doing without, even at, knocking 15, 20 dB off of, or whatever it is.
For sure.
But I need to go back in and spend some time with that. But it's that age old question. Do I have the time? I'm doing the best I can to crank out videos. I've got quite a bit of stuff for review. I've got Don's headphones. I was telling him earlier, I had a buddy of mine. I went to his office, and he had these sitting on his thing, and I'm like, dude, those look gorgeous, man. I said, do you like them? He said, I love them. Like, these are sweet. And so these are the Batiste. They sent me the Batiste, and they also sent me the Batiste MGs. So these I think are about $800. The MGs are $1,500. But I told him, I said, she told me up front, she's like, look, I can't let you keep these. I said, yeah, I get that. I said, but let me know how much they are, because I'm probably going to buy them. I'm probably going to buy these. I like them a lot, but I still need to download the app and play with them. So I got these. I got the MGs. I've got Sofa Baton sent me the X2. I need to do a deep dive into all the remotes right now. I've got them all, other than the Remote 3. He just reached out to me like last week and said, hey, Michael, I know it's been a long time since we talked, but we'd love to send you the Remote 3. Let you check that out. I'm like, actually, perfect timing, because I got, 2 other remotes, 3 other remotes I need to dive into as well. And I want to figure out, what do we want to carry? Like,
Right.
Is that the Unfolded Circle 3?
Unfolded Circle Remote 3. The Sofa Baton X2 that has the new dock. It has the touch screen. I have a Cantana, I think it's called Cantana Haptic
Every time.
RS90. It's an interesting looking remote. It's like it's straight, and then it like does a little 45 angle.
Mhm.
And then there's one more. Oh, and then the Ava Cinema remote, which that's pretty much dealer program only.
Yeah, the Ava.
But
Yeah.
I want to get experience with that, just to see like, how does it compare, just so I have knowledge. And who knows? I mean, if it's amazing, like if it was just, oh my gosh, this is it, then I'm having a serious conversation with them, going, all right, what can we do to be able to sell this thing, and
Right.
whatever. But
So for them, all you needed to do was purchase one. I when I was at Cedia, they just wanted me to purchase it, and I could become a dealer for them. So
yeah.
it was just as simple as that.
But again,
yeah,
the difference is being able to sell stuff
So,
directly online.
correct,
Yeah.
correct. Yeah,
So
that's true.
it's just a different business model,
Mhm.
and they don't do that right now.
Yeah.
Especially with the install and wanting to do all the configuration stuff.
Mhm.
Correct.
And they added the remote configuration capability a little bit,
Mm-hmm.
but it's not
Yeah.
like doing it through the web, I should say. But
Yeah.
it's not quite the same, right?
Yeah.
I don't think that one. I love it. I have it. I've been using it for a long time.
Yeah.
Or for a while, and I like the remote. I love the feel of it.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think it's going to be one that you're going to like as much, but
I really, honestly, if somebody would come out with a literally almost like a clone of freaking Harmony,
Yeah.
just make it easy to set up, create, add your activities, add your delays,
Yeah.
download from a database that's just massive. That's what we all need in the DIY space, because I have a feeling that Unfolded Circle is going to be a little complex. It's
Yeah.
going to rely on Home Assistant very heavily, and so I'm not sure that's something I want to go down. And the
and Home Assistant can be relatively simple to set up
Mm-hmm.
for the basic stuff.
Okay.
It can be as complicated as you want it to be,
Mm-hmm.
but for the basic stuff, and especially in the last 6 months or so, it's gotten a lot simpler.
Mm-hmm.
But it's not Logitech Harmony simple. I don't think. I mean, short of someone with that kind of money that Logitech had,
That's the hard thing, man.
build that
They had it marketed, dude.
Yeah, for
and
sure.
it's the maintenance of that's the challenge. And now with everything being IP controlled, getting those other companies that you're interacting with to create the opportunity through an API.
Look,
Mhm.
and I don't
IP.
I don't know what the big deal about it was for them to shut that company down. I just bought a Logitech keyboard for $20 and a wireless mouse for $24.
Mhm.
I mean, I couldn't make one for
Yeah,
that price.
But they can make it for
Yeah, they're making
Yeah,
it
they're
for
making it-
$5.
That's where they made their money. Like that was their
Mhm.
bread and butter. It wasn't the remote.
Yeah, for
The
sure.
remote was like change.
Yeah.
I
I
If
remember
you think about that, I can have a keyboard and a wireless mouse for that cheap of a price,
Mhm.
that means they were making those remotes for, pennies on a dollar too. You know what I mean?
I mean, there's
It's
still more.
But remember,
you got
Yeah,
a
Mike.
touch screen. I mean,
yeah.
just a
Especially
little
the
bit
I remember
more
when I
involved
bought that.
keyboard.
I mean, we're
I remember
talking
when I
about a
bought-
$500 for the Pro, right? I mean, it couldn't have cost them more than $50 to make that thing.
But you
Yeah.
remember back then, at that time, that was insane amounts of money for a remote. What are you gonna do a remote for that price?
Mhm.
Yeah, but if they open back up, they could probably get $1,000, $1,500, just like Ava and everybody else is now.
Yeah.
Yeah, who knows?
So, but yeah,
Yeah.
no, it's look, I have a Control 4 sitting here. It's still in the box, right? Still, I haven't used it. I mean, I literally go in, and it's not ideal because I want my wife to be able to control the whole system. But I literally go in. I have an IR transmitter because the Lumagen isn't Bluetooth, and I click the on button for that. I click the on button for the projector, and I click the on button for one other device, maybe the Apple TV or something like that. But if I'm using my Kaleidoscape, I go right to my phone. I go to the app, turn it on. If I go and I use the remote right on the app, and then my Lindorf has an app also, so I control everything right through there.
Mhm.
So other than turning the Lumagen on, and the amps all come on as soon as I turn on the Lindorf because it's all on trigger.
Mhm.
So it's like, do I really even need a remote? Right? Just it's just a series of turning on the couple items
Mhm.
and knowing what input to go to that my wife wouldn't know what to do.
Yeah.
But that's the only reason that I have the Control 4, because of the convenience. Because eventually I want her to, and she loves the room. She'll go in there, not even turn on any movies or anything, and she'll just go in there and read and take a nap. And because we got the comfy couch that I keep talking about falling asleep on during a movie, and even Abe fell asleep, sitting up watching a movie in there. But it's just so quiet and peaceful in there that she enjoys. Excuse me, that she enjoys the room. So somebody asked about the DSP. This is the mini DSP Flex. I bought this to control my near field subs that I'm going to be putting in. So I've talked about putting 10-inch subwoofers literally facing the couch in the back and the front board facing board of my riser. And I've already sectioned, when I built the riser, I've already sectioned 2-foot sections off in the riser to be able to put those 10-inch Ultimax subwoofers there for near field. So this was a used purchase. Purchased it from Mr. Long, Abe's customer. So thank you for that. Definitely appreciate it. I just received it the other day. So thank you. So yeah, that's the mini DSP.
Nice.
So how about you, Derek? What's on your short list, sir?
I am asking Santa to send me a major carpenter to come seal up my room for me. Otherwise, just need to. I'm actually gonna start working on putting the room back together. So I 2 years ago tore everything down because the stupid community got in the way, and I went and saw Jeff Mary's theater. And it was amazing. And at the time, he still had his LS 12,000. He was still using a silver ticket screen. And I'm like, I want to do this. So we started doing it, went down that path, painted the room. Well, that meant taking everything out. Well, then that became a whole thing. So.
Snowball.
And then, as Michael well knows, I bought 12 JBL CBT 70J1s, thinking I was going to be Jonathan and quickly fix them. Turns out those things are massively complicated and take a lot of effort to fix when it's not just a crossover board. So fix those, painted them. Now it's time to finally get stuff up in the room. My wife would be what she would say would be for Christmas as well. Let's actually get a functional theater again.
That's
So
awesome.
that's the goal.
Good, man.
Awesome. So just gonna go.
Sorry, I was gonna say I missed the Dayton Audio Signature Series. They went on 20% sale for Black Friday. And I thought, oh, surely they'll do it again. I don't really want to make any purchases right now. I've got FOMO ever since.
Yeah. No, that's the problem with going to those shows and going to other people's houses. Even watching theater tours, right? It's like we like this feature. It's like, damn, I can do that. Let me tear this down and do this, and this. You know what I mean? And then it's like 3 months later, and you're still in the same freaking position as when you started tearing shit down. So I did the same. I started putting the blocking up the other day, and right now I've the 2 rails that are stacked on the left side of the theater. I got them tore apart, and the one rear surround sound for the left I've got tore apart so that I can put the blocking up and everything else like that. So yeah, I started doing that, so, and it's already been a week. I did get quite a bit done though, so I'm proud of myself that I at least got quite a bit done. But through the rest of the year is just going to be heck for me. We got 2 holidays on Thursdays coming up. So by the way, I don't know if we're going to reschedule those shows or not for Christmas and for New Year's Day. So I have to get with the guys about that and talk to them. Obviously, we're not going to do it on Christmas or New Year's Day. We're going to spend time with our families, like we all should. But we'll definitely let you guys know next week if we're going to reschedule those shows for a different day or not. But yeah, so we got to plan that out and just work end of the year. End of the year, trying to hit end of the year numbers, and we're that close. So I got to make sure that it happens. So so maybe I can get a bonus and maybe do one of those upgrades we're talking
There you
about.
go. There you go.
Maybe do one of those Epsons with the 7,000, 10,000 lumens or something like that to have as a projector to play during the daytime while watching sports and stuff like that.
There you go.
So.
Yeah, Ike teased me when I was over at his house. He teased me, if you're not careful, Don is going to finish his home theater before you do.
Yeah, you can't have that happen.
No, I'm really thinking that my goal is to have fabric up and LEDs and all that stuff at the latest end of February, but I'm shooting for end of January for that. So,
2027?
No, 2026, bro.
Yeah, let's see.
So
I heard that 3 years ago.
That's my goal. The problem is I'm sitting my fat ass down watching movies instead of doing work. Is what the problem is. So, but yeah, just want to go through the chat again real quick. Make sure I didn't forget anybody in the chat. I know we didn't give a shout out to everybody, but Scotty-O, thanks again for the super chat. Really appreciate that. Going back to the projectors, Senor Dusty says the Barco Freya was the best projector that he has seen. Let's see. MFK, we were talking about the Panamorph, so I think he's talking about the lumens perceived in that one. Let's see here. NZ, I like my NZ8 with the Prisma. I've never heard of that one. Prismasonic anamorphic lens.
I'm not familiar with that.
I'm not familiar with that one either. So there's Chuck. The Upgrade King says you don't need to necessarily upgrade. So he was at the theater. Senor Dusty says the same thing. He tells me I don't need any more bass in the theater. So for sure. But Yeah, so just let me make sure. Speaking of the Arvolution, uh, Bill, he says that he actually uses the Arvolution, and he can put files, separate files on there. I think there's more. I just want more control out of it. Not saying that you can't add files here and there. Just looking for a little bit more out of the NAS itself to be able to do different stuff on the NAS.
Yeah, I saw somebody recommend the Ugreen. The problem with that I've been told is that it's kind of a closed system too. They don't unlock it like a Synology would or
Right.
some of the other ones.
Yeah,
So-
for sure.
I use that in my setup, but I don't use it for movies. It's just backup for my YouTube channel.
Yeah, and the only I mean, it works great. Don't get me wrong. And when I reviewed it and put it on the channel and everything else, it works fantastic. But the only other if I had to nitpick, I would say it's Windows based.
Mhm.
So yeah, for a NAS, that's the only thing that I thought would. And I'm not even a huge tech guy, but everybody that I know that talked about it, that I helped me with it, they were questioning why it would be Windows based. So, but like I said, if you're using it for the Arvolution, and maybe just to store some files, some pictures, or something like that, it worked flawlessly, 100%. You know what I mean? It really did well. So
Yeah, that's true. I did hear about that too. They were saying that Scott was saying you can reflash the Ugreen and put whatever on it you want.
Mhm.
okay, yeah, I've not tried the Ugreen. I'm not savvy enough to reflash it and do everything else like that. So, but yeah, no, my guinea pig, and I always tell Paul this, is because he set up the QNAP and he's been working on his. So I'm letting him work all the bugs out of his, so
Yeah.
he can tell me exactly what I need for mine.
Tell him to build you one and send it to you.
And hopefully when I give him access to it, he don't wipe my bank accounts out.
That's right.
So no, that all that stuff's on a whole separate network. I have two ISPs. So literally I use my Comcast ISP for all personal stuff, and I use the AT&T ISP for all home theater stuff and streaming. So I don't they're not even on the same network. So, but yeah. All right, everyone. Well, we definitely appreciate you tuning into the show. Michael, thank you so much for joining us this evening. Definitely appreciate you. And hey, congratulations on Obsessed Home Theater. You haven't been on for a while on our channel, and I really appreciate you joining on in such notice. And hey, Rusty and Matt can join sometime too, man. Have them come on, and I'd love to see some progress of what's going on at Rusty's house too, because I know he was.
That's the problem. There ain't been much. He's a Don. He's been dragging his feet. He's just got a ton going on.
For sure.
It's not priority right now. He's got to get some other things in line.
Yeah.
It'll happen because he's already bought his speakers. He's got his projector, but he's got to enclose the room. I don't think he's even done that yet. So a lot to do, a lot of steps. Building out the
We've all
room.
been there.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, it takes time, man, and especially when you want to do stuff right. So
Yeah. Yeah, his is gonna be killer.
That'll be awesome. We're looking forward to seeing that. Looking forward to seeing all the upcoming reviews that you got on the remotes and whatever else you're doing. Derek, thanks for joining us too. Please give a shout out for your business, Derek.
Oh yeah, Harold Home Systems, just getting going, but I'm really excited, enjoying it, loving it.
Very good, Derek. When we were seated, Derek was the one taking the shit serious. He was at all the classes and everything else like that. I was fumbling around. I was fumbling around with the camera that I still haven't put a video out yet for. So.
I knew that, dude. It's funny. I'm looking back. I'm watching. Did Ike ever post any?
Ike posted. Ike posted a bunch. Yeah.
Okay.
He posted 5 or 6.
But it was kind of funny because I'm just watching. I'm going, I'm wondering if they're gonna edit these videos. 'Cause y'all are
I-
taking a crap load of videos.
I have a ton of them. I'm
That's
going to do
funny,
it. Actually, I told Ike that he's not allowed to do the Mag Theatron because I want to do that one because actually Bill's on here too because I've actually got I want to incorporate the film, not film, but the videos that I have from Bill's
Mhm.
home theater.
Yeah.
Because he's got the Mag Theatron stuff there. I want to incorporate that with the interview that I did. So I asked Ike, please don't do that one because I wanted to do
Mhm.
that. I have it literally. It's on my desktop to edit. So I'll get that out
Cool.
probably the first of the year, somewhere around there.
Mm.
So
2027. Gonna
Yeah.
just go that again.
hey, might as well. Might as well. So but thank you everyone for joining.
Almost.
Appreciate you. Derek, thanks again for joining.
Anytime.
We'll be on next Thursday, and then just we'll make the announcement about the following 2 weeks. But thanks a lot, guys.
Have a good night,
We'll
guys.
see you next time.
Everyone.